Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. I thought I would do something a little bit different than what I normally have been doing for my YouTube videos. If you know me, you have seen me doing a lot of painting, putting things together, instruction videos, but I've been gone for a while. Not really a big while, but I took a break and I want to go over shedding some light on why I took a break and go over hopefully a video that will help someone else in the long run. So if you have coffee, tea, whatever you want to call it, your beverage for this tea, get it so we can actually go over it. I thought we can have a heart-to-heart, chat-to-chat, weird accent that just popped up, but I thought we could go over that and maybe I can help someone else before you start working for Anthropologie as a DC coordinator, or DC, which is display coordinator. So grab whatever you're gonna drink and listen to this story, so maybe it'll help you when you take the position or not take the position, whatever you want to say. So let's start. I started working for Anthropologie this year, April of 2022. I started working for the company. I've been wanting this job with the company for a while. I have been wanting this position since 2016, I would say. I've been trying to get this position for a long time, ever since my father died. I wanted the position because, of course, I'm an artist. Of course, I've seen what they've done and I'm like, gosh, that's a job for me. That's my dream job. That's what I want. Had it in my head. Other people had it in head. Whatever you want to call it. That's where I thought I was supposed to be. Because let's be honest, there's not that many jobs out there for artists. If there are creative jobs, you're working for yourself. You're working up for it for yourself. You're coming up with it. You're making your own plans. There's just not a lot out there. There's a tech industry out there. There's graphic design out there. There's photography out there. But traditional artists, you're doing it by yourself. You're doing it on your own. You're having the work ethic that you need for yourself, that drive for yourself. There's not really a job out there like there used to be for Leonardo da Vinci. Anybody like that? There's nothing. So I said, you know what? That's going to be the best for me, to have a creative life where I'm covered, where I have health insurance, where I'll have dental. They have great support in that aspect, where you have a steady paycheck. That's really what it comes down to. Excuse me for scratching my nose. I've been having allergies. Don't know why, but sometimes it's just been itching or I'm sneezing and it sucks, but it's happening. But aside from that, this is a video to help someone. If you want to be a DC display coordinator for Anthropologie, it's here to help someone else so you don't make the mistake that I did. So I took the job because, like I said, it's a steady paycheck. Your back is covered. You don't have to wonder where your money's coming from. So I had my interview for it. I wanted to have a more creatively driven life. That's what I wanted for myself. I'm in my 30s at this point, and I wanted to have a creatively driven life. And who does not want to follow their dream and have that? So I was chosen for the position because I have experience. In a sense, I might not have worked with a lot of power tools, but guess what? I have been doing art for a long time, where I can make that deduction of what to do and learn the way I'm supposed to accordingly. So I was like, great, this is going to be awesome for me. This is going to be the step of where I need to be for what I want to do. Now, the truth of it is, you think you have an idea of what you're getting into, but you have absolutely no idea of what you're getting into. Because how can you possibly have an idea of what you're getting into if you've never done it before, if you've never been there before? For this company, for this corporation, for this organization, you have no idea. The only example I can give you guys to have somewhat of an idea is you sign up for the military. Only thing I can think of, because my brother was in the military. You sign up for it, right? You know it's war, You've seen maybe an inkling of pictures. You've maybe heard some stories, but you truly have no idea what you're getting yourself into. You have an inkling, but you really don't know what you're getting yourself into. That's the only way I can explain what it is working in that position. You know, stress, you thinking stress, times that 5, 10 times more. That's the level of stress that you have working as a display coordinator for Anthropologie. That's what it is. That's what you have right there. Example, I started in April. That's going to be the time where it's Earth Day time. It's Earth Day month. So I was thrown into the frying pan with another DC that was temporary at the time. She was 100% great. I loved her. I actually loved that that's what the company did right. They partnered me with someone that would train me for 2 weeks that she was there. I actually like that. I like that they thought about that. I like that she was the type of person that gave me the time of day to go over things. That's one thing that I do appreciate. I don't have an issue saying that that's one of the things the company did right. I know what the company did right, but we're also going over what could be improved. Peanut butter jelly sandwich. Give a compliment. What we don't like. What you do that we like. You know? That's what we're going through this time around. So I love that. But literally when I started with her and started getting into it, I thought to myself, no filter, holy shit, what the hell? I made a mistake. That's literally what my head thought. I made a mistake. This is not the job I should have had. But me being the determined person I am, I said, I'm going to try. I'm going to see if this is not something I can flesh out. No. If maybe I was in my 20s, it would have been different. In the sense of I'm naive and I don't know better. But I'm coming into this in my 30s. And I know the company shouldn't be operating this way. So there was no way you could pull the wool over my eyes at this point that I didn't know. Example. You go into Anthropologie or you pull up the pictures. You look at someone's social media account. You look at their Facebook, whatever. I don't care. You look at it. There's one person doing everything. One. Not 2, not 3, not a team. I don't care what you see. I don't care if you read a book. I don't care if you saw a post somewhere from another year. There's not a team. If there is a team, they're in New York. They're nowhere else. You have one person doing everything at this job. That's something you on the outside that's watching this video, you right now that's watching this on this screen, you don't know that. There's one person doing everything. And that sucks because you're one, underpaid. You might be getting $14 to $21 an hour. That's where you're going to cap out. You're there 8 years. You're capping out. You might not even get $21 an hour being there 8 years. And your experience of working for the company, it's not worth that. You're on a ladder for 8 hours a day, perhaps. Nope. You pull up whatever picture you want to pull up. Look at it. One person doing absolutely everything. Let's go over an example, right? In this company, everyone has their job. You have the people that's going to be in Philadelphia in the main headquarters, and you have them doing their planning process, whatever, jazz, whatnot. We had the higher ups notice that there's blue jeans on, you walk in the door, this on the left. It's in the left of our store. And they did a bubble map before the summer, right? They did a bubble map and they did all their rearrangements to have it set up and prep for holiday in the summer, right? They didn't realize that there's jeans in the front of the store until September. You guys did a bubble map. How did you not realize this? So you're in the middle, you the DC, which is me, my position. You're in the middle of doing your fall or holiday, whatever you want to call it. You're in the middle of doing your build-ups, which is going to be absolutely everything you see in the window. You're in the middle of doing that build-up. You have maybe a month to do it, whatever you want to call it. And they stop you. And they're like, we noticed that there's jeans in the front of the store. That's a problem for holiday. You guys need to absolutely 100% swap everything that you see on the right. Swap that to the left. Everything you see on the left, swap that to the right. That means, let's go over it, what that everything is. All the clothes, all the fixtures, all the signs. And we're talking about signs hanging from the ceiling. So guess who's going to go up there and take those butterfly hooks out and pull them out and reinstall them on the other side of the store. Even though you have an upcoming deadline later on that you have to keep for holiday. Guess who has to do that? That one DC. That DC has to do that. And not to mention at this time, we had someone that had just been hired to do a display in the front of the store that has to be next to the jeans. She did a whole wall buildup. Guess who has to take that down and reinstall it in another room? Piece by piece, wood piece by wood piece. It might be 50 pieces that was stapled into that wall. And that new wall you got to put it's a smaller wall. So guess what? You have to cut some of the pieces down. You have to cut some of them down. Take it down. Deinstall it. But make sure it's intact because you only have a week to do all of this. You by yourself. The visual team has had people fly in from different parts of the country. 4 or 5 more people. You, the DC? 1. It's just you. And then when you get support assigned to you, it's going to be at the graces of your manager thinking for you, like I'll send someone to help you. But it wasn't the company that thought that, right? It wasn't the higher ups that work in this position. It wasn't any of the higher ups that thought about this for my well-being, for my sanity. It's my manager that I had, luckily, a good one. There are some that don't have good ones. Think about that. And you still have all these things that you have to do. You have to stick with your deadlines. You might have to stop in the middle of what you're doing to do 6 sketches, maybe 5 more added on. You have to have those done. Guess what? By tomorrow. You find out about it on Monday. You got 6 sketches due tomorrow. It has to be done. And then that's God forbid if they don't say, hey, stop. We noticed you needed to add 5 more. You can do that, right? That's one of the things I did not like working for the company. How unorganized it was. It's organized to an extent for what you have to do. But it's really 100% not organized in the sense of you have someone reporting to you from a higher level that's not in your store, that doesn't know how it's structured, that doesn't know how it's going to be. They're barking orders of what you need to do, but you're like, this is not going to fit for this space. But they don't know that. But then they don't listen to your judgment either. Even though you're in that store, or it might be someone there 14 years and they're not listening to your judgment of telling them how your layout is. So I didn't appreciate how unorganized it was from a company standpoint for a company that has been operating since the 80s. And don't get me wrong, I've worked for some companies. I've worked for retail. I've worked in retail for over a decade. So don't get me wrong. I 100% know how it works. And not all retail organizations are the same. But there has to be a smoother way if you've been operating that long since the 80s, right? You would think. Working for Anthropologie is on the level for me, the same as it was for working for Forever 21. If you're someone that has maybe seen some videos out there or even worked for them, that's not a great comparison. Not a great comparison at all. Because they were unorganized as well. So I quit because I was unhappy working for them. I was unhappy. Let's go through the negatives of why I was unhappy. It was unorganized. I wasn't respected as an artist. And I mean respected in the sense of judgment. I might not have worked for the company for a long time. However, I've been an artist for a long time. So when I'm telling you a deadline's not going to be done when a certain deadline is supposed to be done because I see how the treatment is working for what I'm creating, that's not respected. You tell me it has to be done by this time, no exceptions. There's no way. You had me start this on Monday. When I told you I felt we should have started it sooner. But what me telling you that, it's not respected. It's not thought of in that aspect. So in that sense, we have a missed opportunity. That's the best terminology I can call it. Retail terminology. A missed opportunity right there. Because we could have had it done. But it's not. So the lack of respect for my expertise, I did not appreciate that. The disorganization of it, I didn't appreciate that. The high level of stress that you deal with as a DC is not great. And let's just be real. We all went through 2020 together. We all went through everything together. It's one of those questions of what it's worth. What is it worth to you? Do you want to wake up at 7, like get there at 7 o'clock in the morning, be on a ladder 8 hours a day, risk your health with the chemicals you're working with? I did not even mention that. It's high chemicals that you will be working with. Let's go through the labels of cancer you could possibly be getting with what you're working with. Yeah, you have health insurance. But what cost of that after all the years that you're working on all those things? You know, is it worth it? Is it worth it to you? Is it worth your mental health? We all know what 2020 brought. It brought a time of reflecting. It brought a time of realizing your worth, realizing what everything's worth. We all went through a time of uncertainty together, of slowing down, and fear, just fear of together. So you realize after going through something like that, you realize it's not worth it. It's not, I can do the job. Anybody can do the job. Like if you're creative, you can do the job. But is it worth it? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. Is it worth it just to say you work for Anthropologie? Is it worth it to be rewarded with, guess what? Pat on the back. Oh my gosh. You're so creative. Oh my gosh. You put that together. You did those penguins. You did everything. Oh my gosh, that's so creative of you. But why would I not be that creative when this is my life's calling, when I'm an artist, when I've gone through the college, when I've worked for the company 8 years? Not talking about me. I'm talking about other people there. So what is it worth having a pat on the back? It's not. It's really not. For me, it was not. I felt as if I was slapped in the face by the company. Because like I said, you think you have an idea of what you're signing up for, but there's nothing that can prepare you if you haven't worked for the company. There's nothing that can prepare you for that because you have no freaking idea what you're signing up for. So I feel bad for the DCs that are there that have not realized this. I feel bad for all the old little women that tell you while you're on your ladder, oh, what a fun job! Ah, so great! So wonderful! Oh, you little black girl, you're doing such a good job. No! You come up here. You climb your rickety butt up here on this freaking ladder that's all the way at the ceiling to the top. Just as much as my hand is not in this frame right now. You climb up here And you do this for 8 hours. You risk your health. You do all that jazz, and you realize it's really not worth it. It's really not for $14 an hour, for $15 an hour, even at $21 an hour. It's not worth it. And that's what the company is about. It's about the art, and it's about the artists. But guess what? You don't respect artists. Artists aren't respected because the support's not there. Because guess what? You get sick. It's you that does everything. It's you, and you in this little frame. If you're working there, if you're gonna work there, it's you doing all the work by yourself. There's no assistance. And if there is assistance, they're just as stressed out as you are. So I am happy that as an adult, someone in my 30s, of course I didn't hold any grudges of anyone that I worked with, because guess what? They're just as stressed out as you are. It's a trickle down effect. It's something that higher up is telling them that stresses them out, and then they go and they tell you, and you stress them out, and then you go home and you yell at your husband, or you yell at your friend or something. You turn into a person that you aren't anymore. So it's not worth it. A lot of DCs might be leaving. I know I left because I realized it's not worth it for me. It's not worth my mental health. It's not worth me changing the person that I am and being negative and dreading having to go back to work on Monday. On Monday. I dreaded on Sunday, hated going back on Monday. It's not worth it. And the recycling that you think that they do, they might not. Some might not. You think they're recycling, and you think they're doing what they're supposed to be doing and everything. Because guess what? I'm a planetary person. I love Sailor Moon, all these planets, Mercury, whatever. I like recycling. If you know me, that's what my artwork is about. It's about changing the environment. They don't 100% do that. Some of them do. That shit broke my heart. That broke my heart. Because I want to make things better for the planet. And I want to believe in a company. And I want to believe what they're putting out there in their PSA, on their LinkedIn account, on whatever you see. Nope. Not 100%. So it sucks. Because you realize your freaking superhero that you have, that you think is Superman, is Bizarro. So yes, of course, there's positive and negatives of working for Anthropologie. Let's go through the positives really quickly, and then we'll go through the negatives really quickly, just to sum it up. Just so we're 100% clear within the rants that I have. I like that it's a company that is there for women and women empowerment when it comes to what women create, or whatever country is creating it. I like that. I like that it's well crafted. I like that it's put together. I like the fact that their sizes are what their sizes are. I like that they have health insurance. I like that they have dental. I like that they have things that help for infertility. Love that. I love the environment of people I was working with. I like that. I like that the fact of the store is clean. Those are positives that I liked. I like that I had a steady paycheck at the end of the day. But what I did not like was not being respected as an artist. That was one thing. I didn't like how unorganized the company was when it came to working for a corporation, because the artists are just as important as the sales associates. The artists create things, and that's the aesthetic of what Anthropologie is. The artists create things to drive sales. And so there's, for it being one person doing everything, that's a lot of pressure that you have. I didn't like the fact that I was on a ladder for 8 hours a day. I did not like that the fact that because of the work that I'm doing, which is basically a construction job, that's basically what it is, let's call it that. I didn't like that I was tired at the end of the day, 100%, passing out at the end of the day, falling asleep at lights because I'm so bone tired. Yes, that could be just me, because guess what? I'm a little chubby black girl. That could just be me. But I didn't like that. My life, jobs shouldn't, be like that. You're thinking for an artist. I didn't like that. And I also did not like the fact that there just wasn't support. There wasn't support for the artist that was there. And then the pay, you're underpaid. I had heard another DC. I will put her information here because I think she's great. I'll put her in down the credits. I love her. I've met a lot of amazing friends through this process of working for Anthropologie. Like I said, I didn't have issues with connecting with people or anything like that. And the environment was great. But however, the fact that we are getting paid, the DCs are getting paid less than how much their candles cost, that's not great. So those were some of the things that I didn't like. I did, of course, do the honorable thing, gave my 2 weeks and everything, because I don't believe in burning a bridge. And this isn't a video about bashing. Do not get me wrong. Yes, I'm shedding light. It's not a video about bashing. It's about me bringing light to it in hopes of helping someone else not waste their time getting into it, feeling that you're making a commitment and you're wasting everybody's time. You're wasting your time and you're wasting their time when they can have someone else that might really want the job. Let's call it what it is. There's people that do like that. But I want to bring this video out there to shed light for someone else in hopes of you not wasting anyone's time. And hopefully in the hopes of, maybe Anthropologie seeing it and they do make some changes, because that's a possibility as well too. That's my only hope for this video, for this rant, is to help someone else see the truth. That's all I wanted. But thank you if you're still here, if you're still watching this video. There might be no one that watches this video. But at least I felt I did my part to try to help someone else. So, thank you for watching. If you're still here, I hope you had your beverage. I hope you finished it. Everything else, good luck in all of your future endeavors. If you're still there, keep your freaking head up. Or if you don't like your job, keep your head up. It can only get better if you make those changes for yourself and you know your worth and you know that you're worth it. Of having happiness, of being the best individual that you can be, and pursuing your goals that you have for yourself. So have a great day, night, evening, whatever freaking time you're having watching this video. And I'll see you guys another time. And it'll be a better day tomorrow. Night. I hope you enjoyed the tea. Bye.